What's up, Copy Squad? Coming to you live from Kinston, North Carolina. Good old K-Town. Today I want to talk about 2 mistakes that cost you sales. This is something I actually got from my buddy who's a realtor out in Raleigh. We were talking yesterday. He saw me hanging out at his place yesterday on live. These are some things that are like, not just like copywriting things, but these are kind of like sales lessons that'll be very important for you and making sure that you don't lose prospective customers. Okay, first thing is don't ever tell your customers they've been duped. Okay, I'll give you a story example. So he'll be talking to a prospect, and the prospect will say, have you heard of XYZ system? Right? Have you heard of the real estate system by so-and-so? And his initial response was, well, it sounds like you've been duped, like by marketing. And I was like, whoa, buddy, how often does that work out for you? He says, I've gotten 0 of those prospects to convert, but they're getting duped. I just feel like I should tell them. And I'm like, dude, you can never tell someone that they are getting scammed or what they believe is wrong or the thing that they're following is shady, or like if they believe in it, if they've been convinced to believe in it by a savvy marketer, you'll lose 10 out of 10 times because their ego is invested in that decision. And whenever you tell them they've been duped, you're telling them they're stupid. You're saying, look, dude, you're so dumb. You didn't see this marketing right in front of your face totally take advantage of you and take your money or sell you a lie or something like that. I was like, you can't tell them, hey, man, you're dumb. It's not going to get you many sales. It's akin to what I always say about never tell any customer that they're wrong, and also try to avoid telling them that anything is their fault. Here's the advice I gave them. I said, look, man, when you're having that call, you're having that conversation, and someone says, do you know XYZ system? The best thing to do is acknowledge and move past it. You got to get right past that right away. So someone says, have you heard of the Ben Smith real estate selling system? The guy I was talking to before uses the Ben Smith real estate selling system. Totally made up thing I just made up. And what he used to say before is, that sounds like a marketing scam. You've been duped. All right, now you just told your prospect he's stupid. The other thing you should do instead of that is say, the prospect says, have you heard of the Ben Smith marketing system? And instead you say, look, there's a lot of different schools of thought in the real estate game, and I haven't heard of that one yet. That might be something for a particular team in a particular region, right? But here's what we do, and then you just move past it. You don't have to tell them that they're wrong or that guy duped them or, made them look like a fool. And this is in Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. You don't want to make your prospect or your clients or anything like that feel like a fool. Like, that will not win you points. You want to first win friends, and then you can influence them, right? So basically, it's fine. Acknowledge it. There are savvy marketers out there who will sell people based on a system, and I actually think that's the correct thing to do, which leads me into point number 2. This is another thing, a conversation piece that we had yesterday at great length. My friend would say, like, I don't know how to make myself stand out as a realtor. I was like, well, what do you tell people when they say, why should I choose you? What's your answer to that? Well, I tell them that every realtor has the same tools available to them. And the difference between them and us is we actually use the tools. We actually use them. And I was like, I understand what you're saying. And it's basically, the problem with that is I'm selling on hustle. You're selling on this idea of better than, right? And what we need to be selling on, this is a non-negotiable, is you need to be selling on new. This has to be new and only. Remember our big 4 emotions. I wrote a whole book about these big 4 emotions and what I call emotion-based selling. The book is called Take Their Money, and it's available at kylethewriter.com/book. Problem number 2 is selling on hustle. You can't sell on better than, okay? Or I work harder. Like, that's not a measurable, new, unique thing. So instead what you got to do is you got to sell on new, okay? And that is big emotion number 1. So we got new, easy, safe, and big. Once you trigger that element, that thought in their head that you're new and different, then and only then can you inspire hope for a new and different outcome from what they've had. So my friend's a realtor. Okay, you could be a personal trainer. You could be a dietitian. You could be, like, why are you different? I've tried a bunch of realtors. I've tried a bunch of personal trainers, and it didn't work for me. The last thing you can say is, I'm smarter or I work harder, because you can't sell on better. I'm better than. You can sell on I do things differently, though. So what I encouraged him to do is, look, whenever people were telling your customers or prospects or potential clients that they were selling in the Ben Smith system, right? I just made that up. And you called them stupid, you said you were duped by a marketer. What you do instead is the Ben Smith systems are winning, obviously, right? So what you need to do is you need to have your own unique way of doing it. And he says, but Kyle, we don't have our own unique way of doing it. We all have the same tools and we just use them. And I was like, you got to get out of that mindset, brother. Like, for instance, you got to pick like one thing that you do, all right? one thing. Either like you have a unique connection, a network, or some sort of way you do it that is different than what you would say your competitors do. Yeah, so basically trigger the emotions. Take the facts that you find with your research, weave the big four emotions into those facts, and you can sell pretty much anything, okay? And that's adaptable to any environment or sales situation. And like I said, I just use realtors, and I was talking to my buddy who's a realtor out in Raleigh, and I was like, dude, you've got to go with new. You can't say I'm better or work harder or I hustle. Another thing you can't do is you can't sell on guarantees. That's selling from the heels. You're giving someone a way out. Why? In case your stuff sucks? You don't sell from the heels, baby. You're new and different, and this is why you'll work. Don't be selling from the heels, okay? So those are two things. One, don't tell your prospect or client that they've been duped by other marketers. You'll make them feel stupid. Nobody wants to feel like a fool. Everybody wants to feel important and smart. So whenever they say, have you heard of this system? Say, look, I haven't heard of that system. And I'll tell you, a lot of people have their own way of doing things. So do we. Here's my system. Because step number 2 is you can't sell on hustle and you can't sell on I'm better than, because you have to sell new. New is non-negotiable. It's new, easy, safe, and big. New, easy, safe, and big. Those are the big four motions, and new is non-negotiable. Don't come to the table unless you got something new to offer. Because just like my realtor friend, his prospects and clients have already tried a dozen realtors before him. Why him? Why him? And whenever they ask you that very directly over the phone during your first conversation, likability can only take you so far, right? It can be experience. It can be like, I was like, bro, here's what you do. You need to start getting on there some credibility. And your credibility like automatically discredits your competition if they haven't used their credibility. And I was like, bro, how many years of experience are in your office? How long has your office been located in that zip code that your person is looking for, right? Like, even that, like, we specialize in this zip code and we have 153 years of experience. Like, you can drop stuff like that. But just saying that we work harder, it's not gonna cut it, man. You gotta have something new and different that you bring to the table and offer them hope. Offer them hope. You don't have to call it my selling system or anything like that, but just you have to have your own unique way of doing it, okay? And you give it a little name, it'll take you far. If you want to learn about emotion-based selling, which is my copywriting system, which will teach you the secret language of copywriting that speaks directly to the emotional brain, the decision-making center of the brain, you should go to kylethewriter.com/book. That's all I got. Check out the book. Take their money at kylethewriter.com/book. Peace out, Copy Squad.